The 1965 India-Pakistan War, often viewed solely through the lens of the Kashmir conflict, was, in reality, a clash for much more. It was a struggle for regional dominance, a test of wills between two newly independent nations grappling with their post-colonial identities. The war, lasting just over a month, exposed the fault lines of partition, the unresolved tensions simmering since 1947. It also underscored the dangerous game of international power politics, with both superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, playing their parts in this South Asian drama. While Kashmir provided the immediate spark, the flames of war were fanned by deeper strategic ambitions and miscalculations on both sides. The war's legacy continues to shape the relationship between India and Pakistan even today. It led to a military buildup in both countries, diverting precious resources from development and perpetuating an atmosphere of mistrust. The conflict also highlighted the volatile nature of the Kashmir dispute, leaving it as a festering wound, prone to eruption even decades later. Understanding the 1965 war, therefore, requires looking beyond the mountains of Kashmir to grasp the complex interplay of factors that led to its outbreak and the profound consequences that continue to reverberate today. The seeds of the 1965 war were sown in the very soil of Kashmir. The princely state, with its Muslim-majority population and Hindu ruler, became a point of contention during the partition of British India. The Maharaja's indecision on whether to join India or Pakistan led to the First Kashmir War of 1947-48, ending with a ceasefire line that divided the region. This unresolved status remained a source of constant tension between India and Pakistan. In the lead-up to 1965, Pakistan's military leadership, emboldened by the acquisition of American weaponry, and sensing an opportunity to exploit what they perceived as India's weakness following its defeat in the 1962 Sino-Indian War, decided to act. Their plan, codenamed Operation Gibraltar, aimed to infiltrate Kashmir with Pakistani soldiers disguised as locals to incite an uprising against Indian rule. The objective was to sever India's supply lines and quickly seize control of the state before India could respond effectively. This strategy, however, was based on a fatal miscalculation. Pakistan underestimated India's resolve to defend Kashmir and overestimated the level of popular support for an insurgency. The local population, while harboring grievances against Indian administration, largely did not side with the infiltrators. Operation Gibraltar, instead of igniting a popular uprising, served as the catalyst for a full-blown war, one that would soon escalate beyond the mountains of Kashmir. Launched in August 1965, Operation Gibraltar was deeply flawed from the outset. The plan relied heavily on secrecy and the element of surprise. Pakistan believed that by disguising its soldiers as Kashmiri insurgents, they could blend in and incite a rebellion against Indian rule. This assumption proved disastrously wrong. The local population, far from welcoming the infiltrators, often provided information about their movements to Indian forces. Moreover, the operation was poorly planned and executed. The infiltrators, lacking adequate supplies and local support, found themselves isolated and vulnerable. Indian intelligence soon caught wind of the operation, and the element of surprise was lost. By the time India launched its counteroffensive, it was well prepared to deal with the Pakistani incursion. The failure of Operation Gibraltar exposed the strategic miscalculations that plagued Pakistan's war effort. It demonstrated a lack of understanding of the ground realities in Kashmir, overestimating the potential for a popular uprising while underestimating India's military capabilities and its determination to defend its territorial integrity. The operation's failure had the unintended consequence of escalating the conflict, drawing India into a full-scale war that Pakistan was ill-prepared to fight. India's response to Operation Gibraltar was swift and decisive. Recognizing the Pakistani incursion as an act of war, India launched a full-fledged counteroffensive. On September 6, 1965, Indian troops crossed the international border, opening up a new front in Punjab, Pakistan's heartland. This unexpected move caught Pakistan off guard, forcing them to divert troops and resources from Kashmir to defend their own territory. The Indian army, better equipped and with superior numbers, made significant gains in the initial days of the war. Key battles were fought in the plains of Punjab, including the Battle of Chawinda, one of the largest tank battles since World War II. The Indian Air Force, too, played a crucial role conducting airstrikes against Pakistani air bases and providing close air support to ground troops. As the war progressed, India's strategic advantage became increasingly apparent. Their superior logistics, combined with effective military coordination and the element of surprise achieved by opening a new front, put immense pressure on the Pakistani forces. The tide of the war had turned, and India was now on the offensive. One of the most significant battles of the 1965 war took place in the village of Asal-Uttar, near the city of Amritsar in Punjab. The Battle of Asal-Uttar, meaning real answer in Punjabi, was a testament to the bravery and resilience of the Indian Army, particularly the 4th Battalion of the Sikh Regiment. Facing a massive Pakistani armored assault, the Indian troops, led by Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid, put up a fierce defense. Armed with recoilless rifles, they inflicted heavy casualties on the advancing Pakistani tanks, effectively halting their advance. Hamid, displaying extraordinary courage and tactical acumen, destroyed 7 Pakistani tanks before making the ultimate sacrifice for his nation. The Battle of Asal-Uttar, though a relatively small engagement in the larger context of the war, assumed immense symbolic importance. It represented the indomitable spirit of the Indian Army, and the nation's resolve to defend its territory. Hamid's heroism, recognized with the Param Veer Chakra, India's highest military decoration, made him a national hero, his story inspiring generations to come. Diplomacy takes center stage, the Tashkent Declaration. By the third week of September, after weeks of intense fighting, both India and Pakistan found themselves locked in a stalemate. International pressure to end the conflict was mounting, with the United States and the Soviet Union playing key roles in mediating a ceasefire. Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin offered to host peace talks in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, an offer accepted by both India and Pakistan. The Tashkent Declaration, signed on January 10, 1966, brought an end to the hostilities. The agreement stipulated a return to pre-war positions and a commitment to resolving disputes through peaceful means. While the agreement achieved its primary objective of ending the fighting, it did little to address the underlying causes of the conflict. The Tashkent Declaration was met with mixed reactions in both India and Pakistan. While some hailed it as a victory for diplomacy and a step towards lasting peace, others viewed it as a betrayal of wartime sacrifices, particularly in India, where the army was perceived to be on the verge of a decisive victory. The agreement, despite its limitations, marked the beginning of a long and arduous process of dialogue and diplomacy between the two nations. A legacy of mistrust, the war's lingering shadow. The 1965 war cast a long shadow over the Indian subcontinent, leaving behind a legacy of mistrust and military buildup. Despite the Tashkent Declaration's call for peaceful resolution of disputes, the conflict solidified the perception of the other as an existential threat in the minds of both Indians and Pakistanis. The war led to a significant increase in defense spending in both countries, diverting resources from crucial areas like education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation. The unresolved Kashmir issue continued to fester, becoming a major stumbling block in bilateral relations. The line of control, established after the 1947-48 war, solidified as the de facto border, further dividing Kashmir and its people. The war also contributed to the growing militarization of Pakistani society, with the army assuming a dominant role in national politics. The 1965 war, despite lasting only a few weeks, had a profound and enduring impact on the trajectory of India-Pakistan relations. It sowed the seeds of deep mistrust, fueled an arms race, and left Kashmir a volatile flashpoint prone to future conflicts. The scars of the war continue to shape the political landscape of the subcontinent even today. Section Lessons Unlearned: The Perils of Miscalculation. The 1965 war offers valuable lessons in the perils of miscalculation and the importance of clear strategic thinking. Pakistan's decision to initiate the conflict based on flawed assumptions about India's vulnerabilities and the potential for a popular uprising in Kashmir proved to be a grave miscalculation. It underestimated India's military capabilities and resolve, while overestimating the level of support for Pakistan within Kashmir. The war also highlighted the dangers of relying on a single-point agenda, as Pakistan did with its focus on Kashmir. By limiting its strategic options and failing to anticipate India's response on multiple fronts, Pakistan found itself strategically outmaneuvered. India, on the other hand, demonstrated greater strategic flexibility, adapting its tactics and exploiting Pakistan's weaknesses. The 1965 war serves as a stark reminder that wars are rarely won or lost on the battlefield alone. Political objectives, popular support, economic strength, and international diplomacy all play crucial roles in determining the outcome of conflicts. The war's legacy underscores the importance of clear strategic thinking, a nuanced understanding of ground realities, and the pursuit of diplomatic solutions over military adventurism. Echoes of 1965, shaping the subcontinent's future. The echoes of the 1965 war continue to resonate in the Indian subcontinent. The unresolved issues that led to the conflict, territorial disputes, cross-border terrorism, and the lack of trust remain significant challenges to regional peace and stability. The war's legacy serves as a constant reminder of the human and economic costs of conflict, the enduring impact on generations, and the urgent need for peaceful coexistence. Despite the long shadow of the 1965 war, there is hope for a more peaceful and prosperous future. Both India and Pakistan have much to gain from cooperation and regional integration. Trade, cultural exchanges, and people-to-people contacts can help bridge divides and foster understanding. Addressing the root causes of conflict, particularly the Kashmir issue, is crucial for building lasting peace. The 1965 war, while a tragic chapter in the history of the subcontinent, also offers a valuable lesson in the importance of dialogue, diplomacy, and reconciliation. It is a reminder that lasting peace requires more than just the absence of war. It demands a commitment to understanding, empathy, and a shared vision for a better future. Only then can the echoes of 1965 fade, replaced by the sounds of peace and prosperity.